Hey everyone, this is my first video today, December I think is 8th of Sunday. I posted many videos yesterday and I cleaned up the descriptions and whatnot. For the people that don't know how to get viewers apparently on YouTube, if you're a content creator, etc., if you're a creator of videos and whatnot, I meant, the title and the description is important. So I just wanted to share with anybody that didn't know about that, honestly. Tagging is not as important as it used to be, and a few other things I can't remember exactly, but long as you get the title and description, written or set, good. Well, I meant, then you shouldn't have much to worry about of getting viewers eventually. It still takes time, I think, and there's just so many similar kind of videos out there with titles and such and description that it's understandable if they don't see your video exactly. But anyways, so what I wanted to talk about in this video is about gang stalking, how to survive gang stalking, organized stalking, how to survive it as in with the most clarity of mind and health, basically. So these are few things that I've tried personally, and they help either tremendously a lot or at least scientifically proven that to help a lot. Getting kind of sleepy because this ECT treatment I'm getting. Anyways, yes. So water is one of the most important things. It is said to drink for males, that I don't know the weight and the age and such, but on average about 2 liters of water each and every day is optimal. It's best for the person. I used to drink 2 liters of water back then. I didn't really see too much of a difference, honestly. Maybe just, I don't have no idea. I didn't really maybe see the little changes basically or something to it. I'm sure that it happened. But I didn't see much of a, difference that much, honestly. But scientifically proven to drink 2 liters of water is good for you. And then, like the obvious things that you hear in school and from parents and, stuff like that. Eat 5 servings. I don't know exactly how many servings, honestly, but 5 should be good enough, honestly. Vegetables and fruits, because they clean up your blood and all that kind of good stuff. Make sure you eat 2 to 3 square meals. I would say 3 meals, obviously. But if you were like me, where you barely ate because of torment and suffering, basically, start with small meals, and then eventually make it to 3 meals if you can. You should be able to once your stomach is more, hungry, basically, when you keep feeding it. What else is there? We talked about fruits, vegetables, 3 square meals. Just for personal experience and life, honestly, just eat 3 square meals. It doesn't have to be the most nutritious food ever all the time, which, I mean, if it is, then it's great, obviously, but it doesn't always have to be, from personal experience. And a lot of us don't have that kind of time to cook your own meal the healthiest, best way every time. We're busy with school, we're busy with work, we're busy out and about, all these things, basically. So, it doesn't have to be the most, the most healthiest cooked meal, basically. But I don't know. I looked on the food delivery guys that have meal prepped food ready, and you pay like $10-$20 per meal, basically, and has all the nutritions and health and everything to it. So I wonder if that's not a bad idea, if you're too busy, especially to cook your own meals. Obviously, cooking your own meals is the best, I'm sure. because you know what you're putting into your food and, you know, into your body, I meant, and so on. So anyways, yes, make sure you eat. You know, for me, basically just didn't eat, and you know that was a problem. As you can see, in my 60-year plus videos, I was thin. I was skinny. You know, I was skinny and unhealthy. But now I'm much healthier than before. At least I weigh 170 pounds now, and it seems like it's gonna increase because of my medication, especially. But it's a good weight, though, you know, kind of, somewhat, because there's like some belly too, that's like, you know, added to my body. But I don't know. I mean, except the belly, I would say it's pretty good. I would possibly say, no. So anyways, back to the health and how to survive. So we talked about veggies, we talked about fruits, we talked about 3 square meals. Long as you don't eat cup ramens all the time or pizza all the time, you know, you can eat that once in a while, but you get what I mean. You should be good to go if you know. And I remember researching a ton of health stuff back then that I tried to incorporate into my life, obviously, due to these, especially being a TI and whatnot. Every week, you at least twice a week to eat omega-3 rich food like salmon and such, or mackerel or whatever, you know. They're all good for you. So implement fish into your diet and make sure, you know. And so I'm from a website that I used to, you know, goof around and kind of, you know, play around with, called Bodybuilding Myths. For the people that know what I'm talking about, we moved to New Myths now because of whatever reasons Bodybuilding Myths has been turned off, you know, kind of gone basically. And I don't know why I got banned, or not. I don't know why. It's because I'm a TI, and thus they wanted to ban me because I guess I was enjoying my time there or whatnot. But anyways, what I learned, this is from the myths, so it's not really too credible, basically. I mean, some of those guys do work out, but I've learned some, like, the cruddiest things, basically, from them. Meaning, like, they're like, oh, you don't do cardio when you lift weights. You should do cardio. Cardio is good for you, you know? So I honestly thought and believed that you don't do cardio until I started seeing other, you know, kind of guys that were doing cardio, and they're telling you to do cardio when they have the body that you want to get to, you know, and so on and so forth. So it's not as credible as I might be mentioning Bodybuilding Myths. I just said it because that's where I used to hang around a lot, years ago at least, until they got rid of it, and until they banned me for whatever reason it was, honestly. But anyways, yes, what is there? Yeah, so I was trying to say what we say in the Bodybuilding Myths or New Myths now. We will be saying omega. What is it called? Multivitamin a day and omega-3 a day, basically. So those things are obviously healthy and useful, but you know, this is from the myths. So if that makes sense, it could be not as credible, you know? So I don't know. But I'm just mentioning, but it's just common sense maybe, that omega-3s are good for you. So are multivitamins, obviously. So in your health, the water, the vegetables, the fruits, the fish, and now the omega-3s and the multivitamins, 6 things or whatnot. You know, incorporate and eat that every day with 2 liters of water. You will be in good shape. 3 square meals, I think I already mentioned, yes. So all those things. There's some like not even like, it's not really a secret food basically, but I remember like turmeric or something like that. If I'm correct with it, some kind of powder or something. I don't know. There's all kinds of foods and it's good for you. So just research those, you know. And this is coming from me. where I didn't really do all these things every time, you know. I tried to, but it was like really impossible because of being a TI, and not really knowing how to cook food and how to handle these things, because I'm not a chef, you know, or nor did I learn culinary, you know, stuff basically. But I'm just sharing with y'all what works actually. You know, if that much I tried worked for me, just imagine doing everything that I mentioned every day eventually, you know? It will help you overcome many things in life with mind control and technology and all these horrible things that the government and the non-governments are doing to citizens. But yeah, so what else is there? So we talked about omega-3s, we talked about multivitamins, we talked about fish, we talked about not eating too much pizza and cup ramens, long as you don't eat that like every time, you know. What else is there? Obviously, basically common sense, you know, for the people that know what I'm talking about. Like, don't eat too much fried foods, you know. Don't eat too much sweet stuff, you know. Like those kind of common sense, and don't eat too much stuff that's high in sodium, like cup ramens all the time, you know. Like those kind of things, you know. As long as your diet is, you know, well balanced, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you get what I'm saying. Like pasta here or hamburger there, or what else is there? Bread with whatever, you know, or rice basically for, you know, because I'm a Korean American, we normally eat rice, you know, all kinds of healthy rice too, with the types of beans and whatnot. So, you know, just go to your grocery store. If you don't know how to shop, basically, I would just write down what you want to buy for your food. Just plan it basically, you know. For example, I wanna eat rice today with, you know, beef or something like that, or pork, you know, and some side dishes. That's how we are in Korean Americans. And then you go to the grocery store, look for the stuff that you just thought of, and buy it basically, and then, you know, prepare it in your kitchen, you know, put it on a plate or something, and then eat. That's how simple it is. You know, I'm not talking about like culinary chef, you know, cooking style, you know. You know, it's not, you don't have to be that advanced to do these things, so it shouldn't be much of a problem. So anyways, 2 liters of water, fish, what else is there? 3 square meals, 5 servings of veggies and fruits. You know, 2 liters of water, I think I already said. So that much will help you tremendously if your diet was horrible before, at least, you know, like I was. And make sure when you see a psychiatrist for, you know, gangstalking basically, and they tell you that you're just a schizophrenic or something like what they labeled me, you know, just go with what they say from personal experience. Take the medication they tell you to take. It will help you out. It will relax your mind and body from the chemicals that, you know, kind of numbs the places that needs to be numbed or whatever, basically, you know. And it helped a lot for me, at least. At first it was horrible because it made me constantly sleepy and just really just exhausted. But once you overcome it in several months or something to it, I know it sucks, but that's just the way it is, you know. And then eventually your body knows how to handle it, and then you don't feel those kind of tiredness, you know, or sleepiness anymore. So just give your body some time and make sure you take your medications, because it actually helps you from anxiety and depression and schizophrenia in a sense. It helps you out somewhat, you know. So whatever aid you can get, might as well take them and, you know, implement it in your life. So anyways, so medication I already talked about, supplements I talked about, very few, and then the food and water I talked about. So I think that covers basically all regarding diet. And then we have exercise. This is coming from me, personal experience. Due to being assaulted numerous times, physically, verbally, so on, due to being a TI, I wanted to, learn martial arts so I can defend myself and be healthier and stronger, And so I literally try to learn Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in like three or two different places. One, at least, I got kicked out of for trying to give a ride to a minor, apparently, to the gym when he rides skateboard all the time. This gym was called SUP Gym, SUP Gym, in Front Royal, Virginia, and then he's like, "Oh, do you try to give an underage guy a ride to the gym? I mean, come on now, we're gym like partners and brothers and such, all of us in the gym basically. So what's the deal? Like, who cares if he's underage or whatever? I'm just giving him a ride to go to the gym to work out and whatnot, And if you were so concerned about him being an underage, then why is he, fighting grown adults in the gym and actually winning against them? This kid was pretty strong, strong or just good at jiu-jitsu is what I remember. He would be tossing around his other age, that's 200 pounds basically, knowing the forms and such, as a 14-year-old. But anyways, and grown like Marines or, military, I meant. And cops as well that were in the gym. So I just didn't understand what that meant when, I got kicked out. It's like, why am I getting kicked out for trying to give a ride to an underage kid to the gym that we go every time? That's like literally, right there. For me to take him there, and just many more things to back up my statements. That guy, the gym dojo or whatever you call it, leader, the teacher or whatever, he has everybody's addresses and phone numbers and credit card numbers and such for when we pay for the monthly fees for learning, jiu-jitsu. So he has all that information. If worst case, happens, he's got everything to, file and report that will get the person in trouble quick, So I just didn't understand that. I understand maybe not taking any chances, I suppose, but I feel like I'm overthinking right now. It's like, what? We're gym partners? We were at least, actually. And like, what? I'm offering him to give him a ride to the gym, being a kind person, and then I get kicked out for being nice, basically, So anyways, that happened basically. The other time happened in Korea, Gangnam, the jiu-jitsu. I couldn't learn because I was suffering bad. Eventually, I couldn't practice. I could not practice because the gangstalking was out of control. I was barely eating, and I needed help. Oh, yes. So what am I saying? Okay, so I had something in my thoughts. So anyways, that's what happened in Gangnam, and then I basically didn't go. And then I tried to learn Taekwondo, TKD, for the people that know the South Korean martial arts, the kicking martial arts, basically. It was fun. I loved it. I loved it more than jiu-jitsu, I ain't gonna lie. Maybe just in my blood, the Korean pride and everything. But so anyways, I due to my health and everything being really, really bad, I just decided to cancel every gym membership that I was attending, like jiu-jitsu, taekwondo. I don't know if I was trying to learn boxing as well. I forgot. I just remembered. I was learning boxing as well. So all these things, I tried to learn, kind of like the army thing. I was skinny and I needed help. So martial arts, exercise, and learning to defend for yourself, is a good thing. That was my logic, but it was just too much. And unlike the army, where the sergeants yell at you and everybody else has to do the workouts and whatnot, you have the freedom to not do it if you don't want to in gyms. You're the one paying for it, if that makes sense. So army thing that I did at 100 pounds, 5'8", didn't really have a choice. Either you get kicked out and get a dishonorable or whatever, or you do your time and just go through the suck basically. For these gyms, if you're sick or ill or whatever, you take time off or you get out of there. So those are the reasons why I couldn't learn jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, taekwondo, boxing, all these awesome martial arts. What else is there that I'm trying to talk about? Trying to remember. I can't remember exactly, but the other stuff I thought of earlier. But one other one is what do you call it? Learning yoga. So I researched, and it said, according to a Harvard professor, yoga is one of the best stress relieving exercise, basically. So that's pretty credible, An Ivy League professor, Harvard, most people heard of Harvard before. They're known for their law school, I think. But, I'm sure a professor there that says that regarding yoga being the #1 stress relieving exercise, I believe it. And I'm sure it's true. That's why they say those things, obviously. And so I tried to learn yoga, and wow, that was tough too. Yoga, I tried to learn for like 30 minutes or 1 hour, and I did 30 minutes of the exercise, and I got tired. I couldn't keep up, basically. Mind you, all of these things, I don't have a really good resting kind of time, Like constantly I'm tormented, constantly I'm irritated, constantly, not eating food due to those reasons, constantly, stuff like that, that makes you weak. And it works. It worked, I meant. That crime, the criminals, it worked. It made me really just basically, what do you call it? Worthless, Worthless, or, basically, what is the word called? Pointless? Not pointless. Worthless, or it's kind of like a vegetable, if that makes sense. Alright, so anyways, what else did I talk about? Yoga, diet, exercise. I'm sure there's a few more, at least, that will help you against gangstalking. Oh yes, I gotta mention this too. So coming from a desperate kind of lifestyle for years ago, at least, tortured guy, obviously. So I thought a person named Karen Milton Stewart, for the people that knows who I'm talking about, the ex-NSA person, she told me, you got, neodymium magnets are the strongest magnets on Earth, and that it will block some of the stuff that's tormenting you with, So she recommended me, since I wore hats back then, a black hat, to, stick the circular magnets, onto the rim or whatever, the top of the hat, basically, where the where you hold the cap, basically, that area, where the round where your head fits, basically, I think, if I remember correctly. And so I did that, and I didn't feel a difference, honestly. I honestly didn't feel a difference, and I eventually lost the magnets while I was walking in DC, is what I remember. But yeah. So I tried neodymium magnets from personal experience. It didn't help. And then Dave KCD, for the guys that know what I'm talking about as well. Dave KCD, I listened to it. The first day when I listened to it, the remote neural monitoring and all that nonsense was ongoing with anything and everything in my life. And then I heard Dave KCD, and then the next day when I woke up, basically, it felt much different, It felt different, but then eventually it was the same, if that makes sense. As in useless. I've tried it and it didn't work. With that as well. So I've tried neodymium magnets, I've tried Dave KCD. What actually worked for me is medication. Antipsychotics for, quote, schizophrenia or gangstalking, obviously. Eating 2 to 3 square meals. 3 square meals obviously is better. Multivitamin omega-3s. What else is there? Antidepressants, antipsychotics. I get injections for antipsychotics. So, I get they increase the dosage because I was having a crisis where I went inside the hospital in the VA. But, yeah, so injections, it helps in my opinion. 3 square meals, obviously. Omega-3 and multivitamins. I don't really utilize the 5 servings of vegetables and fruits, but I'm sure if I ate that as well, it will help out, I'm sure, along with 2 liters of water that I stopped doing. But so these are the things that I've done, and it worked a lot. So so basically all the stuff I have said in this video of what to take, if you do every one of them, you're bound to be in good shape. You're going to be in a much better shape, mentally, spiritually, physically, everything. So this is why I wanted to make this video to, aware you guys about the situation, how to overcome it, how to defeat it, how to win against, times like that. And also, from personal experience, my other backup that I also have more of, one of them is utilizing the psychiatric hospitals. So when I am really down, when I'm really gone, isn't mentally basically, I utilize the psychiatric hospitals, and they, give you food there, they give you medications there, and you kind of just wait. It's boring, the places that I've been at least, but it truly helps a lot. So psychiatric hospitals. So if you have maybe Medicare or Medicaid or whatever you call it, that's like the cheapest to get health insurance. Or you can just, if you have the money, to get your private insurance, and then look up the hospitals out there. For me, I'm looking for a hospital that you can use cell phones and you can go outside, because we had it in Korea. And all you needed was your parents' signature, basically, that the parents are responsible if anything were to happen. I'm sure in the U.S. we have something like that, possibly, if Korea has it, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's just my idea with the hospitals. And then those are the steps, basically: food, exercise, stress relieving stuff, and then hospitals. So those things will keep you in good shape if crises are to happen to you, were to happen to you. So I overcame crisis every time with these methods that I'm talking about. And it sucks, the time period, because of the hospitals that I didn't get to really find, I utilized the VA hospital, and it sucked, It's boring, basically. It's suffocating. You're just stuck there. And it just stuck there, basically. You can't go and do what you want, or you look up yourself, want to talk to your friends or family, etc. If that kind of makes sense. With social media is what I'm talking about. You can get their numbers and call them, but I don't know, I just feel social media is what I'm used to, not calling, most of the time. So that's just my take there. But anyways, I think I mentioned pretty much everything now that helps out against gang stalking, how to survive it, overcome it, basically. Um, yeah, that's basically all you need. You got your food covered, you got your exercise covered, you got your mindfulness slash stretching covered, basically, which is yoga. Um, oh yes, I forgot to mention prayers. I'm a Christian, so I pray a lot, and praying helps out a lot too. It basically goes with the divine to help me out is what we believe. And so place things that are for us unable for us to reach, the divine will handle that kind of stuff. Is the faith part, basically. And so that exists as well, the prayers. So I don't know. There's Buddha, there's mindfulness with him, yoga, basically, or you can go with prayers as well with Christianity or Islam or Judaism. You get my point. And so that's basically it, I think. So what was it? Food covered, exercise covered, mindfulness, yoga, prayers covered, mental hospital covered, medications covered, exercise we already talked about, I think, covered. So that's basically everything, in life. So those are the things that will help. It takes some effort, but it's not really that hard if you try it, honestly. It shouldn't be that hard, honestly. If you like food like me, it's not that hard just eating. It's kind of I can understand in a sense that you're kind of lazy from preparing the food, but once you get the first step out of the way of preparing the food and doing it eventually a few times, it becomes muscle memory. It becomes easier. Alright, so I think that's it. And also social media, family and friends are important. Church is important for me, at least. People that you can talk to that you kind of like or trust or whatnot, that have some wisdom here and there, that hear you out and they pray for you, they talk to you, give you advice, and so on and so forth. Mentors as well, So I think that covers everything, I think, of basically what I said. So, yeah, that's how I survived, and also gotten able to overcome these things much easier. It's very interesting with this mind control torment, though. What seems to be interesting to me is when I am tormented by the mind control, it would be so much worse, when I'm like stressed out or having a crisis, basically. It would be much worse. But then when I'm doing good, it leaves me alone. Like sometimes, if not a lot of times. I thought that was kind of weird. I thought it wouldn't matter if you're doing well or not, I thought they would just torture you regardless. But that's what I experienced many times. So, all right, 33-minute video. I don't know if I should make some ASMR videos after this video or read the Bible a little bit. ASMR videos that I talked about already. I got some assignments to do. 8 assignments to do by next Friday. So we have today? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 6 days basically. Knock out 2 assignments at a time, and I should be able to be in good shape. That's where I'm at, guys. Hope everyone's doing well. It's almost Christmas, New Year's. Hopefully everyone's doing well and safe from all this nonsense. And I hope you guys check out this video and aware yourselves how to overcome gang stalking in a much better light. Yeah, you gotta eat, you gotta exercise, you gotta do all these things, so hopefully this video helps. All right, signing out. Bye.